feel like the camera is not where it usually is and it's throwing me off. Also, let's not showcase my drinking habit. These past couple of months have been really weird for me, like brain-wise. I just feel like I can't focus on anything and I feel super like all over the place. So I thought I would do like just a simple wrap-up. I know I usually do recent reads where I do kind of mini reviews, but I have been doing a lot of work on my blog when it comes to reviews, so I will leave the link to every book I mentioned down below if you want to read more of my, you know, spoiler-free thoughts. But today I thought I would just do a wrap-up because I feel like it's a nice closure and I feel like I can kind of restart or something in the month of November. This will be my October wrap-up. So the first book that I read and finished in the month of October was Nevermore by Kelly Craig. This is a paranormal inspired by Edgar Allan Poe, and it's about these two characters getting together for a school project and then weird things start happening. It's not super scary, but it is on the atmospheric, gothic, gloomy side, so I highly recommend if you're into that kind of atmosphere. But I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The second book that I completed in the month of October was We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I actually listened to this on audio and I had been wanting to read this book for a really long time because I've heard so many great things about it, but I didn't really enjoy it all that much. It wasn't as spooky as I was anticipating it to be, so I think that's partly my fault. I ended up giving the book a 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The third book that I completed was a complete surprise to me because I had never really heard about the book before or the author, and it was, I think, recommended to me in one of those spooky recommendation videos, and also I was kind of really in the mood for a zombie book. So I went and picked up This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, and this is probably one of my favorite books of the year. As I said, this was a complete surprise because I fell in love with the writing style and the characters, and I went ahead and read more of her books. The fourth book that I completed is actually one that I'm really scared to talk about because I know it's beloved by a lot of people here on YouTube, but that book is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I actually listened to this on audio and I was really enjoying it at first, but as the story went on, I'm not sure if it was the expectation that I had going into it, because I've heard a lot of people say great things about it and I was expecting to just have this be one of my favorite books of the year, but I mean, it was, I really liked the story, I really liked the message, I thought it was pretty sad and I like sad books, but overall I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. As I mentioned, I kind of wanted to read more Courtney Summers books after reading This Is Not a Test, so I went and picked up one of her earlier works, which was Some Girls Are, and I gave that book a 4 out of 5 stars. It's basically about mean girls in high school, and I really like, again, I think she's really good with the writing style because it's not overly descriptive, and I really like her characters because they're very three-dimensional and all of them have flaws, and they're not the kind of gimmicky cliche type flaws. They're actual, like, bad people, and I really like that about her writing. So after finishing that, I went and picked up, I think it might have been her debut novel, which was Cracked Up to Be. This is again another high school story about this girl who just really is struggling with something, and she kind of lashes out at people a lot. It's just her trying to deal with this thing that's eating her up inside, while also having a lot of people try to help her but she obviously doesn't want that help. Again, her characters are amazing. Her writing style is not as good as the other two books that I read by hers. I think that's kind of because it is her debut novel, and I like seeing that her writing has definitely improved as she writes more and more. So I do really like exploring that in an author, if that makes sense. But overall, I gave Cracked Up to be a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Right, so I guess I read 6 books in the month of October, which is pretty okay for me. I don't usually read that much. It usually takes me about 2 weeks to read one book. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of bummed I didn't like read some of the books that I wanted to read for the challenges, but I can always pick it up, you know, next month, or maybe this, maybe not this month because I'm doing NaNoWriMo, but maybe next month because I'm always up for spooky books. I hope you're having a great day and I will see you soon.